Welcome in everyone to the Chilly Mountain Here's the Storm Supercup number 2, brought to you in part by Cho-Gall. This is game number 1 of our first of 2 best of 3s for the semifinals. If you'd like to know the information about how the bracket has evolved over time, you can hit !bracket in chat. But right now we have got the members of Press Forward on the left-hand side and VGM Gaming on the right. We are going to be heading into Towers of Doom. Now, I do not have the map bans that was handled between the players, and I did not mention or ask them for that information. That's a little bit on me. Sorry about that, chat. So we might not have that information readily available to us, but we are heading to Towers of Doom. The map pool is pretty much standard of NGS or Heroes Lounge, where I think Heroes Lounge swaps out Braxxis for Hanamura or maybe Garden of Terror, but either way, the map pool is fairly similar to our standard rotations or our standard map pools for a lot of leagues, and even I believe Storm League itself. Yes, Trainwreck. Music is loud AF. Oh, well, I guess the starting screen music is really, really loud, but yeah, maybe I'll turn that down in the future. I don't know. I mostly like it loud because I get to jam out to it like before I start streaming. I'm usually listening to my own stream, but either way, that's going to be a Chromie Lost Vikings with a Deckard Kane and an Abathur being banned on the left-hand side. We have an Ana first pick for the right-hand side, so we could be seeing... there's possibilities for a nano boosted pyroblast. That's actually something I've seen a lot of people go into, because you can actually, I learned this fairly recently in some of my Storm League games, you can actually nano the pyroblast after the pyroblast has already taken flight. So literally, like if I'm Kael'thas pyroblasting a tracer and my pyroblast is already halfway to tracer, if they hit me with the nano boost, that nano boost applies to the pyroblast. So there's a lot of cool interactions you can utilize Ana with as well. I believe someone mentioned when I said that, I think it was Chessleader said that you can do the same thing with like Junkrat's Riptire. Works in the exact same premise, but this will be a Li Ming and a Dahaka. Li Ming with a nano boost is devastating, especially if they can pop off fine resets, and Dahaka has a lot of good maneuverability on this map with the amount of bushes, flank positioning with the brush stock, and the overall wave clear is fairly strong from the dinosaur. We did not mention that Garrosh and Cassia were picked up on the left-hand side. Garrosh has great lockdown with Warlord's Challenge. You have good displacement as well with the Wrecking Ball, and the Groundbreaker is also a good poke tool as well. Also, even something to set someone up for a potential chase in, like a Cassia. Now, they will get rid of this Diablo as they don't have a main tank on the right-hand side, and their draft is leaning a little dive-heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually would have grabbed a Diablo and a Greymane, because the Greymane pairs well with the Li Ming, gives a Diablo a dive buddy. Now, the one thing I want to point out here is that a new Breck is up and available, and maybe they're not S-tier meta, but I think a new Breck could be really powerful to maybe, you know, you web wrap Garrosh, you web wrap maybe their healer if it's a Lucio, because Lucio is actually a great opportunity here because you can do the thing called walk the Garrosh. You can speed boost the Garrosh so they can actually run in and potentially get into that backline a lot faster. So I'd love to see a Lucio picked up here on the left-hand side. It's going to be a Malfurion, which does give them poke, gives them roots. You can go into the Strangling Vines at level 4 to reduce the healing to the enemy players. You can also go into the Vengeful Root at level 4 to be able to get the quote-unquote broccoli that attacks people, and you can have some kind of poke or harassment during the objective phase because we are in Towers of Doom. For the right-hand side, though, the last 2 picks, they do need a main tank and they need some extra damage. I still think a Greymane would be wonderful here. Pairs into their entire composition, gives good camp clear, gives good wave clear, and aggression overall, but they're going to go for an ETC and a Sylvanas. Now, ETC has had some changes to his auto-attack-based build in the most recent patch we had this past week, so I wonder if that changes any sort of priority for talents for Cattle here. I'm assuming it's going to be Cattle on that main tank Cal. It kind of makes sense, Cattle on ETC. Maybe they'll change it up. I don't know. Who knows? Either way, left-hand side, the last pick, they do need something in the solo lane department to go up against the Dahaka. Leoric wouldn't be bad. Malthael's up and available as well. They don't really have anything to deal with last rites, so they does give them some double rotations, but they're going to go into a Chen. The Wandering Keg Chen, hopefully, will be rolling on into Towers of Doom, but that's going to be our draft for game number 1 here. I got to say, I really, really like what both these teams picked up. This is a great draft for our first map of the day. The all-seeing almighty broccoli, yes. Love Cassia Garrosh combo. I agree, Dax. Very, very good. Shout out to Cho-Gall, who provided all the assets for this event. Really, really great assets. Like, I sent them a screenshot of like all my stuff set up yesterday, and they were like, "How about I change 1 or 2 things?" And I'm like, "It's your event, go for it." And they gave me all these like backdrops and everything like within a couple minutes, and I was just like, beautiful. And the screen transition is just really good. It's simple. It's not too flashy. It doesn't take forever. I love it. I love it. All the assets are great. Shout out to Cho-Gall who put on this event. Make sure you check out Chilly Mountain. That is their main, I believe, Twitch page. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into Towers of Doom here in just a second. I do want to point out one of the teams does have all of their, I think it's Press Forward has all of their icons the same, which is just kind of cool. Or not the same, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4 from the anniversaries. But regardless, let's go ahead and get on into it. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Press Forward. We got J-Shifts on the Chen. Lupus will be on that Malfurion. I know that. I know a Lupus. We have Maradar on the dear Lord. On the Orphea. Red Robot will be on the Garrosh, and Felipe will be on the Cassia. On the right-hand side, we've got the members of VGM Gaming. Maka's going to be on the Sylvanas. Heavy Hooten on the Ana. We've got Cattle on the ETC. Vesper or Liam on that Dahaka, and TigerJK on the Li Ming. Let's get into mid lane and check out our level 1s. As well as get our player vision set up here, because the one thing we always love to do is we love to show what the players are seeing at the start, and right now we got Heavy's vision, so that's why you're going to see the little clicks coming out from them. Cattle anchoring up forward. This is really, really good. That's a really good example of just how like your main tank is prepared to CC someone that steps in, so Cattle was just waiting with that power slide, probably hovering over the actual ability button itself. Meanwhile, Chen does rotate into top lane immediately. We'll be going ahead and starting to clear things out up there, while Vesper does rotate up as well. Now I want to point out, Vesper did go into the Enduring Swarm at level 1. This is not something we see too often. Going to be going for the spell armor, and I guess with the Chen that's going to be a good priority, as well as the fact that you will have spell armor against the Orphea burst. I like that pickup from them. It's an adaptation that I don't see too often, but I think it's based on just what the enemy team has picked up based on, or what the enemy team has drafted hero-wise, not picked up talents. Either way, Sleep Dart will go out. I think it's sidestepped by quite a few, and the camps do spawn, and they're probably just going to go ahead and grab these. Cattle playing the aggressive side, but Red Robot's also kind of anchoring or zoning for them as well. As we can just jump back over to that red vision for a second. You can see what they're seeing, as this will be camp on the left and the right, almost simultaneously picked up, a little bit faster for the left-hand side just because they were on point as things did happen. Sorry, I want to turn up my monitor speakers 1 second. I'm having trouble hearing some of the background noises. There we go. I just didn't want my mic to start picking up that. If my mic does pick up some of the in-game sounds, please let me know in chat. It's a little bit of a delay, so we'll have to obviously fix it, and then there'll be a slight delay. But let me know if you're having any sort of feedback from the game itself. Did the first match start yet? We are actually in the first match. Cho-Gall, what's up, bud? Thanks for coming by. That's going to be Orphea going down right there in bottom lane. A reset does go out to TigerJK, who does get the blink away. First blood going over to the side of VGM Gaming, and now we still have bottom lane pressure pushed in. This is going to be 3 sappers. Sylvanas did go into, 2 sappers. She did go into the Mercenary Queen at level 4, which is going to empower them. I do believe it empowers them when they actually hit the structure, so you are getting increased siege, as that's going to be a power slide through onto Red Robot. A lot of damage out from Mako, who does get thrown. Not into tower range. There's going to be a blind out from the Cassia, buying some time for that auto attack damage, but Tiger looking for an angle here, trying to find a reset, and they do find that reset. That's going to be another kill for the members of VGM Gaming, and a tongue drag from Dahaka will solidify a 3rd kill. Really well played coming out from VGM Gaming right there, as we have a triple altar phase, first one of the game, and death timers are low. Everyone's going to be back up, but positionally on the map, this is going to be in favor for the side of VGM Gaming, just because they're able to just be in place for this bottom lane first of all. But I'm wondering, yeah, I'm watching Maka. Either they're going for the double soak, or they're going to try and go for the left-hand side aggression, and it's not going to be that. Okay, they actually turn around and they say, we're just going to go for 8 shots. That's it. Because what I've seen a lot of teams do is they feign that they're maybe going to go bottom, and then they actually end up just collapsing into top, getting a kill, because typically there's like the respect. There's the solo lane respect where you get yours, I get mine, we just go back and soak. Sometimes, and I've been seeing teams do this, where they kind of feign they're in bottom, and then they just rotate 1 or 2 up, and then they end up getting the pick, and they either get all 3, or they at least get the top portion, and they delay out bottom long enough for them to rotate down that it becomes a full big ol' fight. Regardless, this is going to be 7s up on both sides in just a second, a little bit more so in favor for VGM Gaming, as Press Forward are going to be just a little bit behind from those 3 earlier kills. We'll rotate through the other experience and numbers just to give you an idea what those look like once we get into the level 8 area, just to gives you time for vision of all of the levels, or excuse me, all of the talents that have happened so far in our game. VGM stack. VGM is looking pretty good. But I mean, like, let's not discredit. Like, there's Felipe, there's Red Robot, there's Lupus. Like, those are all names that, like, I have casted before. And even I think these teams have probably been, they've all probably played together on a team at some point in some of these different grassroots events. Either way, Vesper's going to be coming in here with the brush truck. They will go ahead and get the burrow into the ground. Tongue drag onto Chen. These max range tongue drags are insane, and that spell armor is helping Vesper out so much. They're really just able to step into the enemy team back backline and suffer no major consequences. They do get the healing reduction thrown onto them from Malfrey, and I think they are strangling vines from level 4. They get the tongue drag onto Red Robot, getting healed up from their ability power, excuse me, from their one basic ability, but that is going to be Garrosh going down. Another burrow from Vesper, healing reduction thrown onto them from the strangling vines, but they're able to get the pick, and that will be another altar face popping up, and 3 sappers in bottom lane looking to be pushed in. Sylvanas will be able to grab that last one right there. Let's go ahead and cycle through those numbers as promised beforehand so we get an idea of what the damage, experience, and healing is looking like for game number 1 on Towers of Doom. Power slide from Cattle, no mosh, but just yet. A lot of damage onto the Orphea, and Mata is going to have to go back. Excuse me. Mata. Matera. Oh dear lord. It's early for us. The brain's still trying to fire this evening. How's that fat panda still walking? I don't know. Beer? Probably lots of beer. Well, we have this weight over this altar right now. Vesper probably has brush stock off cooldown. Let's actually look really quickly. It is off cooldown, so they can brush stock in at any moment, and they're probably just soaking up for that level 10. And Lupus will go out and poke once with the Moonfire. Felipe rotating around as well. They're maybe looking for a collapse on Amaka, who does get the juke Banshees away. I'll definitely say that's the juke Banshees. Maybe a pick onto Red Robot, who's falling very low. Tongue drag should confirm the kill, as they do. They literally needed one more hit, but look at Cattle was setting up in the bush. They snap pick Mosh Pit. They're looking for that Mosh setup. There's a nano boost onto Li Ming, who just bodies into one. There's a Mosh Pit onto Orphea. Biter Grenade goes out as well, and they manage to collapse onto them. They actually go for the channel, and they say, no, Sylvanas, pop your trait, and let's go ahead and burn this tower down and get some extra shots. And so they do pop those wings, or the black arrows. They're going to be able to grab that. Now, Chen, I don't think is going to do anything advantageous here. Yeah, they're just going to go for the double soak. I was watching them on the minimap. I was like, I don't think they try and sneak that altar right there. Power slide from ETC will be just shy of Felipe, and they do get the bottom lane bell tower converted over in their favor, which means they will have 5 shots out in their favor, and that'll take the enemy core health down to 23 versus 36. The other big note here is that they now have bottom lane control of the bell tower. They're going to be trying to feed in these sappers consistently. The reason that you obviously want to do that is because you can get 3 shots in with said sappers, since they're not going to be charging into the tower anymore. And now you just bank on Dahaka doing double soak rotations for your team, and you just control this bottom lane. Maybe you rotate one out to split into mid, but I honestly doubt that. I think it's just double soaking from Vesper between top and mid up against J shifts, and they'll just hold over bottom lane, and every time a sapper camps off cooldown, they'll rotate one away to go grab it. That's why I was talking about Greymane specifically earlier in the draft, is because, you know, in this situation, you can rotate Greymane back. You still have that Li Ming to poke back and force them from stepping forward to this tower, and they can just solo onto that camp. Not that Sylvanas can do this on their own either. It's just, I think it might be a little bit faster with Greymane. I'm not sure about that actual, like, numerical, or the race down to the seconds, but I feel like Greymane might be able to do it a tad bit quicker. Might be wrong, though. It depends on if Sylvanas is able just to lock them down. We can actually go look, as Maka's going to split off from the friendly team. They should take note of this, but even then, it's hard to step forward onto this. So we can just go ahead and just jump over here. I know they're trying to hold that over. Garrosh is taking a rotation into mid. Looks like they were able to grab their well. I'd say it's probably comparable between Greymane and Sylvanas. I might be over-exaggerating the speed at which Greymane can do these camps, because I'd probably say it's comparable, really. At least with the way that Mako's doing that. Vesper does jump down here, throws the isolation out. It's just shy of Red Robot. They throw back one, but Tiger does get the nano boost, and they're going to go ahead and pop off, finding a single kill onto Garrosh. Camp is now walking in through bottom lane. Altar will be spawning in the next 10 seconds. 13 talent tier advantage for the side of VGM Gaming. Chomp comes out from Orphea. They're just not able to land enough damage for a kill. Power slide from ETC is going to drop the mosh pit in the death zone. There's going to be the Eternal Feast. They find the kill onto the Cassia. They get the snipe onto the Orphea as well, and they're going to be barraged by bullets. That's going to be 15 core health remaining. If my caster math serves me right, did they just get 8 shots? I think so, yeah. I think it was 3 sappers and 5 from the bell tower. I was going to try and look over at stream, but the numbers are too small on my other monitor, so I can't see them. Either way, J Shifts is going to be just kind of doing double soak rotations. No Wandering Keg this game, so no Chen Ws, no Keg Ws, just sad Ws. Can anyone explain why Urel's banned at high level play? 40 armor. Dauntless, level 1. Dauntless level 1. It's not just because of that, but that is a massive advantage for a solo laner to have. She's oppressive. She's good in almost any team composition. She can be a defensive tool. She can be an aggressive tool. Like she fits in any situation, and she is very, very difficult to kill if played correctly. Obviously, you can play her very bad and get destroyed every single time, but you could also play her like Vesper and casually like 1v3 consistently throughout CCL and stuff, and just pop Ardent Defender at the right time and live. There's so many good examples. Like Liam, of course, is going to be the one that is brought up, but that's because just like there's always a lot of eyes on those plays that they do make, and one of them being, I remember, I feel like it was CCL where they literally snuck past like 2 people. They should have died like twice over, but they did. Maka is going to go down right there. That will be first blood for the side of Press Forward, but they managed to get a double kill on the side of VGM Gaming during all of that, as a single altar phase will pop up in bottom lane. They got 1 sapper through as well, so that's why it's going to be 14 health. ETC power sliding towards this just to close the distance, and they'll go ahead and get the channel. That will be 5 shots raining out. 9 core health remaining on the left-hand side. Boss will reduce their health down to 5 core health. So at this point, I think it's waiting for the next bell tower phase and hoping it's a double. You want to shut off the snow? Okay. I don't know. I talked with Cho-Gall and I was just like, I don't know if people are going to like it in the game or out of the game. So I was like, I'll leave it in, and if people complain, we'll shut it off for in-game, but we'll leave it on for everything else. I wasn't sure. You know, it's their event. It's their event. You know, they gave me the assets. If they want it to be snowy, it's snowy, but we did land on it that if people in chat weren't happy with the snow in the game, we'll just shut off the snow in the game. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know. It's, you know, we don't know these things. Like, we don't know if people are going to like the snow or not. Like, some people are going to be like, wow, that was a very, very good Indomitable from Red Robot, as the ball lightning does come out, but it's pretty much, well, right there you saw the value from it between Tiger and Heavy. Oh, okay, yeah, well, it's off. No worries, everybody. Yeah, it was just, you know, we were keeping the theme going, and we... Either way, I do want to say it's... Oh, wait, hold on. We can talk about something in a second here, because I want to talk about the change that ETC got on one of their abilities, and how I've actually been seeing more and more ETC players pick it up as of late. Loop is taking a lot of damage right there. That's going to be a Wailing Arrow, almost solidifying the kill. Banshees go out, but it doesn't get the damage they need, as that's a whole lot of damage. Li Ming pops off right now and finds kill after kill. Oh my god. No 20 repulsion, but not even needed, as that's going to be Orphea going down. That's another reset for Tiger. Trying to find I think they're just looking for a combo from the distance. Cattle so very low, will be going down. Jay Shifts is trying so hard to get this fight over in their favor. Vesper gets the tongue drag in time, and that'll be the tower phases going over in favor for VGM Gaming. The GGs are called already, and that'll be the shots raining out. We'll talk about this in the post game, but what I want to talk about is Encore. I want to talk about Encore. Encore is very interesting. Li Ming went down to something. I don't know what it was, but either way, the shots ran out, and that will be the final shots raining out for game number 1. Dear Lord. GG, well played. All right, Snow's back. Thanks for switching it off. You're welcome, Phoenix. Red team is stacked, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. Li Ming, like, I lost track of where Li Ming was because I just heard them I just heard, like, you know, the bell reset noise for Li Ming? That's all I kept hearing. Last fight was great. I agree. That was a clippable moment. Scrubnor and Jacinbutt. Thank you for the follows during that game. Very appreciated. Encore. Encore from ETC was recently changed in our patch, where the passive now gives each hero hit by face melt or the amp reduces the heroic ability cooldown by 8%. Now, that 8%, obviously, I'm a dumb caster, so I don't know how to do math. I don't know if it's from the 120 seconds or if it's from the current amount of cooldown available. So, like, is it 8% off of, let's say, 100 seconds? You know, whatever it's currently at, or is it off of that 120? Because if it's off the 120, then we can establish what you actually get per knockback. And I'm sure there actually is, like, in my mind, I would assume that you do it off the 120. Encore is now busted. Win back. I agree. I agree. Like, I saw this change, and I saw, like, because I'm one of those, I'm very much a proponent of on paper's one thing, in game is another. And I looked at it on paper, I was like, that looks like it could be strong. And I've been seeing more and more players go for it. And yes, it makes sense. Yes, it is absolutely strong. No auto attack changes as of yet that I've seen, because I think there was like a synergistic pickup with 1 and 7. I think there was like the auto attack at level 7, I think a hammer on, and I think there was like guitar solo at level 1, which increased your guitar solo duration, and then the hammer on had something like your during your guitar solo duration or whatever, you have increased auto attacks against enemy heroes, I think it was, and that was but that level 1 was increased by 0.25, so I don't think that changes anything early, but this Encore is such a priority, I think, now. So 8% of 120, it's about 10 seconds off the max. Okay, thank you. So we can say roughly 10 seconds. So if you power slide into the enemy team and knock back 5 people, you roughly have, in 9.6 seconds per enemy here. Okay, so let's round up and say 10 for caster math. You roughly have 50-second cooldown. That's insane. Like, that's pretty insane to have almost a 50-second cooldown. Under optimal conditions, the ult gets 15 CD, unlikely, but still, yeah. Like, it's just crazy, though. Like, I would really, really like to see this, like, I want to try and watch the heroic cooldown counter next time, because I wasn't watching it, and I wasn't seeing how much of a chunk it was making, because 9.6 seconds is a lot from a 2-minute cooldown. And Face Melt isn't the longest cooldown either. It's like a 10-12 second cooldown for Face Melt. I feel like it's less. I feel like it's like 8 seconds. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of our first semifinal best of 3 of the day. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Press Forward, and on the right is going to be VGM Gaming. VGM wants to take this in a clean 2-0 and move on to that grand finals and knocking the members of Press Forward out. There is no lower bracket. If you're out, you're out. I do believe that is it. Unless there is like a 3rd, 4th place match. I'm not sure if that is something that's happening on the side, but we are doing the 2 semifinals and the grand finals today. So that's what you'll be that is what you'll be seeing on this channel. As Deckard and Lost Vikings will be banned out. This is another wonderful Lost Vikings map. I actually don't know who specifically on the left-hand side plays Vikings. Is it Madara? Does Madara play Vikings? I don't, does Red Robot's a main tank player, I think, right? I'm trying to remember people's roles off the top of my head. There's so many people's roles to remember. Either way, on the right-hand side, what are they going to be grabbing here, as the Ana was already grabbed away. They have a 1-2 pickup. They could go healer main tank. They could grab like ETC Stukov, which is still great on a map like this. You have so much value from the Stukov itself, but it's actually going to be Mei and Gray main. Okay. Mei has a bit of a dive to her, and Greymane can follow up with that. I wonder if we see another priority for... Oh, I was going to say Tiger Li Ming, but it looks like Tiger's on Greymane. They can roll swap in the last 20 seconds or so. I think 20 or 25 seconds of the draft, you can swap over to different roles, so we might see something like that. But there's a Li Ming ETC play, so they're just copying the enemy team's draft right now on the side of Press Forward.
Give their best hugs.
Derb, I'm just gonna go with Derb. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure, my brain's trying to do the whole name, and I'm like, let's focus on the cast right now. For the right-hand side, though, ban-wise, the other team does need a solo laner. They could ban out Chen or Yrel. Chen is kind of annoying on this map in the solo lane because you can use Wandering Keg as a control tool. It's actually going to be Jimmy. They get rid of the sustained damage from Jimmy and the poke potential as well. I don't hate that whatsoever. It gets rid of the knockback from ETC or from them. MFCEO, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying the content you're seeing, my friend. So Yrel was banned out. They just don't want to deal with that in the solo lane. It makes sense. I mean, it is a Vesper strong suit, so if Vesper hasn't picked up yet, why not get rid of something to force them onto a different hero? I don't disagree with that whatsoever. Smart choice coming out from Press Forward. They have Tiger? Yeah. Are you saying it's GG because they have Tiger? That's a Genji. Insta win, huh, Dash Blue? Huh. Okay. Genji was picked up for the right-hand side. Not a hero we see too often, but it is kind of strong on this map. You can rotate into top lane and get picks potentially. You do have a lot of mobility and maneuverability as well. With the swift strike and the agility is on top of that. I just don't know. Like that's an interesting draft. I haven't seen a Genji in a very long time. As that'll be a Rexxar and a Maiev. Rexxar solo lane. Rexxar is not fun to play against in the solo lane, so we'll see what they're gonna grab to deal with that. It looks like they also grabbed not J shifts. I don't want to call the heroes on what role just yet because they can swap. Maiev to be grabbed as well is just still good mobility. Maiev actually was one of the things that replaced Genji on this map a while ago because of just her own, like, you know, self cleanse, her own mobility, all of that stuff. Vesper's going into Artanis. Light Bomb, Genji dashing coming. You think so, Tempest? You think so? Press forward has Madara, yeah. Madara, I think it's Madara. I keep saying it wrong multiple different times. I'm very sorry. Still waking up, everybody. It's still fairly early for Bandit and I. Alrighty, okay. So we're just loading in, so I'm just making sure all my assets are working correctly. Do we have audio coming through? All right, hold on one second. I gotta pull this over. I'm having more and more audio mixer input, so I have to just make sure things are sounding correctly. Someone not German is not having a good time pronouncing that name. All good, mate, keep it up. No, I'm not German. Nein sprechen Deutsch, I think is what I would say in that situation. Either way, let's go ahead and get on into it. On the left-hand side, we have got the members of Press Forward. They're trying to take us to a game number 3. Lupus is going to be on the Rexxar. We've got Red Robot on the ETC. I'm gonna go with just Mad on the Li Ming. We've got J Shifts will be on the Maiev, and Felipe will be on that Ana. There we go. On the right-hand side, we got the members of VGM Gaming who are trying to make a quick 2-0 happen for them as they can go into the grand finals. Maka on the Genji. TigerJK will be on that Raymain. Hebi will be hooting on the Anduin. We have got Cattle on the Mei and Vesper or Liam on the Artanis. Let's look at our level 1s. Ooh. We actually have, I'm blanking on the level 1 for Maiev, but either way, they're going to get a massive Umbral Bind onto a couple players. That's going to be Vesper taking a lot of damage, trying to get out of there. Does use the double strike to try and get themselves out. They do proc their trait, but they end up going down. 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane as Genji dives forward. Maiev does use the Vault of the Warden, pulls them in. They use the deflect. They don't find enough damage. They get slept. The Chastise goes out, but they go down from the Rexxar auto, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 in mid lane in favor for the members of Press Forward. You can light bomb any of those heroes and it's mad strong. I agree, Win. I agree. So Artanis is going to be going into reactive parry at level 1. So just physical armor against them. And also damage reduction from said player. And you get an additional stack of the Twin Blades, right? Yeah, Twin Blades. So I think this is just Vesper's way of dealing with the Misha Rexxar. You know, you mitigate the damage from Misha with the block stacks. You also mitigate their damage by reducing it as Cattle takes a whole lot of damage, pops their cryo freeze, will try and get the icing out, does not manage to do so, and Mei does go down. Now, I want to point out one thing. Ana into Mei is really, really powerful because you can throw the biotic grenade on the cryo freeze, causing the cryo freeze not to heal for 35% of your health, which is the maximum, or not the maximum, the big portion of why that trait's so good. But Ana's considered such a strong counter into that because you have biotic grenade. I actually don't know off the top of my head what that is. So let's find out together. It's a 16-second cooldown, so that's not that bad because cryo freeze is, God, I think it's 40. I feel like it's more. No, it's 40. Okay, yeah, I had it right. So you have a biotic grenade fairly often. You can, as long as you're kind of waiting and maybe even holding for that moment, that's a big, big turnaround for a team fight in your favor. But right now, top lane camp coming through in favor for Vesper. And we're going to hang out in this top lane a little bit just because we rarely get to watch solo lane matchups. J-Shifts is up here. Going to swap the bear behind the gate and just walk away. Break the wrist, walk away. Bottom lane will be in control for the members of VGM Gaming, but top lane will go back over to Press Forward. No Dragonite available for either team just yet. Hey, Free PX, what's up, bud? Alrighty. So top lane, Vesper will try and grab control. Mid lane, no fight. They're set up for something potentially here. No. Icing forward, Chastise does connect. There's a lot of damage on this ETC. Power slide forced out, and they're out of there. Yeah, Tiger's just gonna be able to get one razor swipe away. Gonna roll away as well. Eyes in the Dark picked up from level 4 for them just to give them also, I believe, does it give them extended range? No, just stealth for 3 seconds. I thought I gave you, I always think it gives you a longer disengage distance for your from your Worgen form, but no, not the case. We have this full like Spirit of Vengeance build from them. I have the Pursuit of Vengeance from level 1, and then we also going to have the Sudden Vengeance, and this is I really like that one because it's a big burst of damage. So that's why when you heard them blink right there, I think the audio changes when you do pick that up, and there's kind of like a louder thud in the background when you do get that blink into the enemy team because you have that damage coming out as well. Ana plus Varian equals May destroyed, Varian 13. Yeah, Mortal Wounds from Varian, that'd be very, very strong into them from level 13. Tiger tries to roll away, the Cleanse comes out from Heavy, or the Leap of Faith, 50-50. I've heard teams call it both ways. Regardless, this is still going to be bottom lane being contested. Red Robot has control, but there's a couple players down here I think want to turn that around. That's going to be a power slide onto Tiger, who's trying to get out of here. No Cleanse out from Anduin this time, as that's an 80-second cooldown. Sleep Dart does come out. That is going to be the magic missiles from Li Ming not connecting. Some danger pings coming out. They're expecting, I think, Cattle to make an aggressive rotation into them, but no, Cattle's just out of there. I expect them to have an icing, unless they're going to try and play into Li Ming. No, they just throw in a snowblind out right there as Genji takes a whole lot of damage, does pop their deflect, but still. Forced back in this bottom lane. I want to peek into top really quickly. Looks like Vesper's just trying to throw some damage onto the bear. We can go ahead and look at the other numbers as well. We'll cycle through the damage, experience, and healing for this game right now, as we haven't had a chance to look at those numbers since, well, start of this game. Siege Giants for bottom. No Siege Giants on the left-hand side. Look at Cattle's positioning. Kind of aggressive here, but it is also going to be able to provide a potential flank. Icing is coming in just to push them around. Tiger very low once again. Does get the heal up from the Divine Star. I'm waiting to see. No, nothing. Just a lot of abilities being thrown at each other, and no Dragonite either. Vesper jumps up onto the bear. There's not a whole lot of mana on this Artanis, as they're just autoing into the bear. They don't win that 1v1, I don't think, especially with the Rexxar consistently damaging them as well. I mean, they do have 50 armor or 75 armor. This is interesting. This is interesting, chat. Twin Blades is active. That's why you just heard that. I think? Yeah. Didn't use it on Rexxar. Interesting. Why didn't they use the Twin Blades on Rexxar to get the... Huh. ETC does go down in the bottom lane. Sorry about that. We were watching something interesting happen in top. Well, Dragonite is available for the members of VGM Gaming. Unfortunately, the bear has respawned, and that will be no Dragonite anymore. I think Maka might have gone for the potential channel. 10 talent here will be picked up for the right-hand side. Light Bomb as predicted by chat, because chat always is right. Genji is going to be the Dragon Blade. Swap from Artanis. They're going to try and grab control of this. They're on the corner, forcing Misha to auto-attack them from a distance, and that way they can actually have that control. Really small, but really well played by Vesper. It's little things like that that make big differences in games. Like, because the Misha Bear couldn't actually stand on the point to auto, they would have to macro them around the Artanis, which it just would have taken too much time. So now we're in another fun 1v1. Well, I guess 1v1.5. Rexxar not respecting the 1v1 is what I want to point out right now. Blade dash. Oh, this is the cheeky swap right there. Sorry, I'm having a really good time watching that solo lane matchup because that's really close. Brian, thank you for the 28 damn months. Good to see you, dude. I hope your Sunday's going well. I hope all the pups are enjoying themselves as you are just going through all of Jack's old clothes for fix. Sorry, it's one of my buddies from back home, and he was sending me some funny dog photos earlier. Regardless, Red Robot taking a lot of damage does go down. There's a nano boost onto this Li Ming. Cryo Freeze was used by Cattle. Does still get hit with the Arcane Orb, as there's a Chastise onto one. J-Shifts is trying to back out, and I think they managed to do so. Genji does come in through the mid. That's going to be Misha and Vesper just 1v1ing once again. I think we kind of know the answer of this, but it doesn't matter, as the Dragonite was grabbed first one of the game, 7 minutes in. 11 to 12 in levels, 3 to 3 in kills, and this goes over to the side of VGM Gaming. Did Artanis go stacking? If so, how many stacks? Oh no, it's block, yeah. I usually leave the talents up the entire game. The only time you'll never see the talents is if I pull them away during like a big fight and everything's split, or during what I like to call the rotation of the stats, which I usually try and do twice per game. I try and do it at level 8, and I try and do it a little bit after level 16. I sometimes forget after 16, but I think those are two critical good points to look at the stats, because we're approaching 10s and we're approaching 20s. That's going to be a mosh pit out from Red Robot. They get the kill onto the Gray main. Kick from the Dragonite does interrupt the mosh, I do believe, but with that, I think this is all the Dragonite gets. They're going to get the front gate and mid. Power side from ETC in the backline. Heavy being harassed right now as Genji is losing a lot of health in this Dragonite. Going to kick Red Robot towards their keep front gate. They do... Oh, that's a really good ice wall. Not even going to lock him in. Just ice wall. Just a literal ice wall being in the way. Felipe around the corner with the heals will be just in time. And that'll be Artana swapping Felipe onto the aggressive side. Felipe doesn't get out of this one, and they end up going down to the towers. Meanwhile, the fight continues as Jay Shifts gets the blink away. Cattle coming in with the chases. Red Robot has the power slide through. Genji looking to chase in further forward with the Dragon Blade, but I believe it expires and they leave that fight. Only the Ana going down to the God Swap from Artanis. Meanwhile, in bottom, that's just going to be Li Ming checking. I thought they were checking camp, but then I realized it's a minute and a half away. I don't know. They might have just been dipping for a second just to get the angle for the Arcane Orb on the wave clear. But right now, 13's up 4 to 4 in kills. And the structures are still very even in our just about 10-minute game. Megan420, how you doing? 10 out of 10 swaps? Seriously, sorry. I'm putting my T away. Sorry, I had to use arrow keys.
We're dead.
So, Siege Giants going in through bottom lane. We do have... I'm just watching around the minimap just to see what's happening here. Li Ming and friends maybe either going for the pick onto Vesper, or they're just going to go for the wave clear. I think it's just wave clear. The Li Ming presence is always ever threatening in some of these situations, but... Always threatening in some of these. Okay, anyway, sorry. My verbiage right there. Nice sleep dart coming out from Felipe just to lock down Heavy, or excuse me, to lock down Cattle before they're able to get the light bomb value. You can see Tiger trying to keep their inner beast up, but they're also doing a very, very smart thing, which is taking out the well. Lane sustain is a big thing in this game, and I talk about it quite a bit. This is a good map to talk about it, and we might get into that situation, but right now, we're going to hold for a second as that's a power slide through. Mosh pit coming out. That's a leap of faith to stop that mosh pit from getting value as the Umbra Bind pulls in one. That's going to be the Genji diving in as well. There's a nano boost onto the Li Ming, who's trying to find a target, isn't able to get the combo out. I think there's a minion that might have eaten one of them, and this is not going well for them. Heavy taking a bit of damage. There's no Spirit of Vengeance explosion onto them, which is a little questionable to me. I'm surprised they didn't try and dive in. Maybe they didn't have the abilities they were looking for. Either way, that's going to be go for the throat, I think, from the Gray main. Not finding a kill. The ETC, Li Ming will find the kill right there, and they have the channel for the Dragonite, but at least in bottom lane. In top lane, that'll be still Artanis winning out that 1v1 as the Swift Strike gets Genji out, and there's a blind from Artanis into bottom lane with the Suppression Pulse just to buy some extra time from those auto attacks, but this bottom lane has been aggressive and non-stop. I want to peek into top lane. Do we see a swap from Artanis? I love that Vesper is not really focusing onto the Rexar whatsoever, and I think this is actually kind of a good example of Artanis into Rexar. Like, I think this is a really, really good way of showing kind of how they're playing this. The channel for the Dragonite is going to be here in favor for the side of Press Forward, as Genji is going to find a reset on the Swift Strike. They are going to have the Dragon Blade, no Dragon Knight able to be picked up. There's going to be these a Warden's Cage from the Maiev, and they just... The Genji literally eats one of the walls and is just like, I'm Swift Striking in. Like, here we go. Oh, actually, now they're going to swap over to Lupus, and that was well played from Vesper. Thinking almost that they're just going to auto-attack into the Misha Bear, they get that swap off at the last second, and they're going to find a pick into Rexar. This should be channel for the Dragonite. Tiger should be able to grab this. Li Ming will not be able to get onto point quick enough, and that will be Dragonite. Now, camp in bottom lane was grabbed. This is another map where when the objective phase or the vehicle is in lane or channeled or whatever you want to call it, the camps go off the map. Now here, if you're actually on the blue side, I wonder if this, it won't show quick enough. I wasn't quick on that one. My whole point that I want to show is that if you have a phase like this up and you see that there's a camp still up and available when you know that they should disappear because of the objective phase, that's a good way to tell on your minimap, hey, the enemy team is doing a camp, we may be able to invade. Little things you can take into your own game. I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat who are like, I already know that, Bahamut, why are you repeating it? Because there are some people in chat who sometimes don't know these things. And they might have been like, wait, really? That's a thing. I mean, there's people who in chat sometimes where I tell them, like, you can hover over camps with your cursor on the minimap and it tells you the cooldown. You don't have to pan over to it. I literally told it to Paradox once and he's like, wait, really? And yeah. So it's just like, we all learn off of each other, and it's just one of those things. If you don't know, cool, you learned. If you know, sorry that you heard the information again. It's we repeat things a lot on this channel because we like to teach. Regardless, 16 to 18 in levels, Dragonite in bottom lane. ETC very well played with the power slide to pull the Dragonite further forward, meaning that the Dragonite won't get damaged and the Dragonite's going to take damage from the keep as it's literally just running in and doing nothing, because the structures will prioritize the vehicles to burn them down, so that way the objective phase is balanced. It's not going to prioritize the minion wave or a hero over an objective, just because that would be, I think, really busted. Regardless, 16 to 18 in those levels. We'll leave these 16 talent tiers up for a little bit so you can all take a peek at those, and we'll cycle once again through the numbers as promised beforehand. Looks like we just have the Siege Giants on both sides to be grabbed, probably simultaneous if anything, and it's just going to be splitting off to do more camps. It's a bit of, I think both these teams breathe, they clear their waves, and they start to discuss how they're going to take this next engagement during the next Dragonite phase. What needs to happen in top lane? Maybe a rotation needs to come into top lane. Maybe they need to sit there and 1v1 the Artanis to the point of them getting to half or below health, and that's when this Maiev needs to rotate up, or Li Ming needs to make a play, or something needs to happen where this Rexar can get some sort of support. And that's why maybe we're seeing J shifts in this top lane, or they're just up here to clear a little bit faster with the Rexar. I think it actually might be the latter of that statement. And you actually see quite a few people hovering around here. They might be trying to go for a pick onto... No. They're just going to back off and they're going for their own camp. Okay. Genji in mid lane just clearing things out. As we all know, Genji has one of the best wave clears. I think it's like Deckard, Kane, and Genji are arguably two of the best wave clears in this. No. As I said beforehand, literally hover over your minimap with your cursor and you can actually get information. Your minimap is your best friend, and it's a free thing that you don't have to pay for in game. It's not like a pay to win feature. It's free. It's a free to win feature, and all you have to do is look at it every so often. O'Malley Music, thank you for the tier 1 for 7 months. Young Wooly, thank you for the follow. Lortec, thank you for the follow. Twisted Destiny, thank you for the follow. Snare Fungus, thank you for the follow as well. Very much appreciate for all the support, everyone. Glad you're enjoying the content you're seeing. My name is Bahamut. I do a lot of casting. I love this game. I love talking about this game. 20 talents here. We'll be rolling on in just a second for VGM Gaming. We'll be able to look at those talents right after we look at the KDA screen. And it's going to be Glyph of Faith for the end one. Really good swap. There's the Light Bomb. There's going to be the Genji dive in as well. And that is Lupus going down in top lane. No way you make it out of that one. Mosh Pit coming out from the ETC. They're going to find 2. Heavy gets the cleanse onto 1. They actually get the cleanse onto the second. I was like, well, is it off cooldown? Does Heavy go for the second Leap of Faith? And they managed to do so. Now ETC in a bit of a rough spot. The blind comes out from the Artanis. Dragon Blade came out from the Genji. This is going to be the Dragon Becomes Me, I believe, for the level 20 upgrade, which means as long as you're hitting heroes, you get a... You get increased duration, yeah, and then if you get a kill, you get it in Swift Strike cooldown is reset. Yeah, sorry, trying to glance at it really quickly because I haven't seen a Genji in forever. It feels, and most of the Genjis I also do cast. Oftentimes, I feel like are X Strike just to get that burst damage. Like there'd be an X Strike on top of Felipe right there, but they don't need it as they dive in with the Swift Strike, and that will be a kill onto Ana. No channel for the Dragonite, as J-Shifts did manage to hold things down in bottom lane for a couple seconds. You see the pings coming out. Cattle trying to get the dismount, manages to get the auto, but that's going to be it right there, as ETC is in top lane, giving them the ring around the rosy sort of play. Genji and Greymane coming to top. Now, ETC needs to be weary of Genji and Greymane, because that's a whole lot of damage. If Greymane finds a low... I mean, Greymane's just going to auto. Oh, wait, no. Oh, Li Ming came up here. There's the deflect. Genji gets away right there. Is there a go? Yep, there's the go for the throat from the Greymane, as they do have a reset, but no one low enough to get the value, so it should just eventually dissipate into full cooldown onto that in the top right. Unless, no, it was just go. It wasn't go for the throat. It was just a onslaught. No, I'm blanking on Greymane's dive name. Sorry, I have to look this up because it's driving me absolutely insane. There was the go for the throat, I think. No, maybe I'm dumb. I swear to God I keep hearing it, but it's just Dark Flight. There we go, Dark Flight. Look how Toxic Genji is getting a kill from a screen away. The Dragon Becomes Meme, yeah. Lies. By the way, most people play the minimap, must pay also DLC. KPB. Top lane, Light Bomb, Blind, Chastise. Damage is there. Boar's Unleashed. This is gonna slow them. But Genji should be fine here. Like, they'll just kill the... I mean, they're gonna get the channel. There's the delayed strike through. There's the reset, and that's a double kill for Genji. Top lane does come through. Swap coming out from the Artanis. That's gonna be J-Shifts getting hit with the Chastise, but they still have the Spirit of Vengeance in the last second, and they blink over to the left-hand side. Third Dragonite potentially in favor for the side of VGM Gaming coming through. I think Maka jumps into this one here. Yeah. They also got a double camp in bottom lane. I would assume this is going to be Dragonite rush to bottom, and they also have a third camp to be grabbed right here on the top right of our screen. This is looking really, really, really scary for the side of press forward. They're going to need to press back against this enemy team as the Dragonite and camp's coming through. Swap goes out on Felipe. That's going to be massive. Chastise connected. Power Slide from ETC going to be knocking them back. The Greymane dove in, but the Mosh Pit will save the on. Actually, no. Artanis found the kill somehow, some way in the distance as they went for the throat or side. I don't even know the go for the throat sound anymore. Regardless, they're going to be able to just get a light bomb. Stun CC onto the ETC. That's why. That's why. All right, I'm dumb. The chase went on to Li Meng. They went for the 20 upgrade, so I think I am hearing I think it's just getting full reset every single time. Killed by Dragonblade single-handedly. Ice Wall to lock Lupus out. They're gonna get frozen right there. They find all 5 kills. They move to the core, and that will be the members of VGM Gaming going on to our grand finals in a best-of-5 series later today. GG, well played. Greymane's 20 is unleashed, so it resets it instead of giving... Yeah, thank you, Tempest. I was dumb and didn't read the talents, and I was like, why am I so crazy? Okay, so no, literally, it was 3 go for the throats that I heard correct, but I'm just dumb. Hey, Ashton, how you doing, bud? Thank you for catching that, chat. I just didn't catch it. I'm slow today. After seeing so many games watched, I'm still not used to seeing colorblind and golden lights on objective. Fitting, though? Yeah. I do colorblind just because I feel like there are less people that complain about it and there's more people that benefit from it, if that makes any sense. Like, my goal is to always... Foxy, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the host. My whole goal when I'm streaming is to create an environment where I can amplify these players and have the viewers have the best experience. And I understand that the true colors do look nice. Don't get me wrong. The red looks great, all that stuff. There are a couple people who would benefit from the colorblind mode, and I feel like most people don't really care. Like, I've had a couple complaints. Like, I've had 1 or 2 complaints in the probably year I've been using colorblind mode at this point. And I just think it's beneficial for the vast majority, so... That's just my thoughts on it.